we so much more anxious to sell a cell phone than we are to distribute a healthy meal to kids who really need it?
It's full contact hockey, and there's no other way to describe it. It's ice hockey.
My name is Charles David Moody Jr., and I am the CEO of C.D. Moody Construction Company, and I also run a website called moodyspeaks.com that helps survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And I even wrote a book called Fighting Through the Fear, My Journey of Healing from Childhood Sexual Abuse. One of the sayings I've come with now is to live in the moment. We spend so much time waiting, hoping tomorrow's gonna be better, that we miss sometimes some real good moments because time goes fast. I'm a sexual abuse survivor that didn't speak up about it till I was 55 years old publicly. And I went through the panic attacks, and I had PTSD, had a complete nervous breakdown, and my business was only 4 years old. But God and my wife helped me get through it. When I look back, there was a number of things my parents instilled in me growing up, but probably the most important thing was I could be whoever I wanted to be. Even though I was growing up during the 60s and civil rights era where blacks were fighting just for the right to even vote and be able to live free and live where you want to live, my parents never made me feel like I had to limit what I wanted to do or who I wanted to be. In fact, my dad was a second lieutenant in Panama, and my mother, she was pregnant with me there. She came back to the United States 3 months before I was born so I could be born in the United States. And she said when I was growing up, I did that so you could be president of the United States one day. My parents taught me to be whoever I wanted to be in life and don't let anything hold me back. We've done some really exciting projects in Atlanta, but one of them that really sticks out for me is the Ray Charles Performing Arts Center over at Morehouse College. What Ray Charles stood for, I mean, here's a guy who was blind. The thought that he could do what he was doing was unheard of. That's probably one of those buildings when I go inside, I just stare because I'm like, man, we built this. Now the cyclorama at the History Center means a lot to me because the cyclorama is a huge circular painting that's over 100 years old of the Battle of Atlanta during the Civil War. We had to help figure out how we're gonna relocate it and then drop it down through the roof of the new building. And then after we got it in, we had to unwind it and get it hung up so that now they can repair it and get it ready in 2018 for the public to see. The dream is different as you age. Because when I was growing up, I never saw anybody who looked like me who was a contractor. I didn't meet my first African-American architect until I was about 17 years old. My dream was just have a good job, take care of my family, but to own my own business at this size, I never dreamed that. I have a saying I come up with now that says, nobody promised me that life would be easy, but it sure is fun if you don't give up. So we're gonna have bumps, we're gonna have challenges, we're gonna have some bad things. I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud of what opportunities are here, and I hope we will continue to work to provide those opportunities, and not forget those who don't have hope.
The Wheelchair Sports Federation is an organization dedicated to providing all kinds of support to physically disabled athletes, mostly in team sports, but also in individual sports, whether they be children or adults, all across the country.
From the very beginning, I wasn't like a natural at it, so I had to practice and continue on playing and continue on getting up.
It's really just a sled or like a seat but with skates under you and sticks that you use to push.
It's full contact hockey, and there's no other way to describe it. It's ice hockey.
It's a difficult sport, right, to play. But you sort of just fall into like a routine on how to do it.
So what we're trying to do is show that even though they might not be able to walk very well or have other challenges in life, that they can get out of their chairs and be as active as anybody.
I think one of the greatest thing about the program in general is that they expect you to want to do things on your own.
When I was younger, my parents wanted me to be active, and they started looking around for all different kinds of sports, and they found sled hockey, and I really liked just playing it and the aspects of it. And so I sort of just fell into, you know, playing it more and more until I joined the team.
This money allows us to not only support the sled hockey program in terms of buying ice time and buying equipment, which everyone knows are expensive, but we can do other amazing things too. For instance, in 2 weeks I'm taking 18 of these kids to Park City, Utah to go adaptive skiing, as well as playing sled hockey and other sorts of winter sports.
I think definitely getting involved in adaptive sports has changed my life for the better, and I believe that children who have the opportunity to try adaptive sports should try them, because it really does build a different kind of strength that you just don't get in other activities.
I just really enjoy skating on the ice, and it's really nice.
कई फुटपाथ पर, ब्रिज के नीचे, स्टेशन के बाहर कई भूखे लोग सोते थे। कई जगह पे तो कचरे में से खाना उठा के बच्चा खाता हुआ हमने देखा था। लगभग ये स्थिति मुंबई में तो है, भारत में भी है, पूरे विश्व में भी ऐसी स्थिति है, क्योंकि 20% लोग विश्व में ऐसे हैं जिनको खाना नसीब नहीं होता है, वो भूखे सोते हैं। तो इन भूखे लोगों के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? तो हमने सोचा कहीं पे खाना फेंक देते हैं, कहीं पे खाना नहीं मिलता है, ऐसी स्थिति है। तो हम उन लोगों को अपील करेंगे कि आपके पास अगर खाना बचता है तो इसके आगे फेंक मत देना। हम डब्बों वालों को फ़ोन करिए, डब्बा वाला साइकिल लेके आएगा और खाना लेके गरीबों में बांटेगा। ऐसा सोच के ये रोटी बैंक चालू किया था।
भूख जिसने बर्दाश्त की हो ना, उसको पता रहता है कि भूख क्या चीज़ है। मैं बहुत दवाइयाँ लेती हूँ ना, मेरे से भूख बर्दाश्त नहीं होती। असली बात ये है, मुझे बहुत तकलीफ़ होती है। तो फिर लगा कि फुटपाथ पर कोई जो भूखे सो जाते हैं तो मुझे बहुत दर्द होता है, लेकिन कैसे दें? लेकिन हम लोग जब देने जाते हैं ना कई बार, तो नहीं होती है, छीना झपटी करते हैं। हमारा स्टाफ, ड्राइवर, सब लोग परेशानी करते हैं कि ये कैसे होगा, खींच लेते हैं, दोबारा आते हैं। तो ये लोग अगर व्यवस्थित करते हैं तो बहुत ही बड़ी अच्छी बात है।
$5,000 डब्बा वाला वर्किंग इन दिस बिजनेस, बट हम 200 डब्बे वाले ऐसे हैं जो ये काम करते हैं। हम क्या करते थे, दिन भर तो हमारा काम होता है, 8 बजे से लेकर 6 बजे तक हमारा काम चलता है। फिर 6 से 8 हम खाना कलेक्ट करते थे और 9 बजे तक बांट देते थे। ऐसा हम दिन का हमारा काम चलता था, और इसी के चलते हम रात का खाना नहीं ले पाते थे, क्योंकि दिन भर काम करेंगे, रात भर काम करेंगे तो सोएंगे कभी? फिर ये तो प्रॉब्लम हमको थी। तो ये प्रॉब्लम डी शिवानंद साहब जो है हमारे डीजी हुआ करते थे, उनके और उनके सहकारी आगे आए, उन्होंने हमको ये वैन भेंट दी है। अभी इसी वैन के चलते हम शाम का 4 बजे का खाना 4 से 12 बजे तक हम खाना ले सकते हैं।
हमारा काम तो बहुत इजी है, मंगा लिया, बना लिया, दे दिया। काम तो इन लोगों का है, झुक झुक के सबको देना, बांटना, खिलाना। इन लोगों का बहुत बड़ा काम है और इन लोगों को सैल्यूट करनी चाहिए काम के लिए।
कोई भूखा लोग सोता होगा तो उसका पेट में खाना जाना चाहिए, ऐसा हम सोच के चलते हैं। ये जगन्नाथ का रथ कहा जाता है इसको, हम अकेले खींच के तो नहीं चला सकते, सब लोग इस मूवमेंट से जुड़ेंगे तो ये आगे जाएगा। यानी इसी के चलते भारत में कोई भूखा नहीं सोना चाहिए, ऐसा हमारा सपना है।
This is called power gari. Gari is also the Liberian name for cassava. Like an amazing cream of wheat, the texture, the mouthfeel of this cassava from the farm is just perfect. This is something that they eat every single day there. And what we kind of have done is taken the product and kind of made a culturally relevant food better. So this power gari here has about 12 grams of protein per serving.
We want to end micronutrient deficiency in the world. We're starting with Liberia, and the potential to do it, I think, quicker than a lot of people realize is right in front of us.
How do we build a food system that works? And then here is one example of how it can work. But by no means is one product, one company, one person going to change anything. That's ridiculous. Like, we are hoping to prove a model and say, hey, here's an example that it can work. Now let's try to help others and enable others to make it happen.
Hopefully will be happening here really soon. So we don't make food that other people can make. And we, really got down to the science of food. And I've always said, in my over 18-year culinary career that, I'm 60% scientist, 40% chef. And kind of just having this mentality of, we don't make food that other people can make, coming in and really disrupting the food space and making food that nobody else can make. Instead of cooking for 200 random strangers a night, my food can go out to millions of people.
Why are we so much more anxious to sell a cell phone than we are to distribute a healthy meal to kids who really need it? So we want to take a mindset that often you find in for-profit enterprises and apply it to something that's a lot more important than making sure that I can access Snapchat faster.
The important part of this work is that Just has provided a lot of instigation and ideas, but at the end of the day, this is a Liberian business run by Liberians, feeding Liberians. And that's how it should be, and that's how it will remain.
It started off as me just trying to discover a cool, comfy, quiet space to take a power nap in the middle of the day. And walking around the city, doing some discovery, I couldn't find any place suitable. So along that path of discovery, I ended up finding a space for meditation as well. So I was a little skeptical at first, but I was pretty desperate and felt that I would try anything out. Unfortunately, the place that I went to meditate had to close down, right? I was making a lifestyle change and I was feeling such a fantastic benefit, personally and professionally. So I decided I would put the pieces of the puzzle together and open my own beautiful power nap and modern meditation studio. We offer services in kind of two camps. We call them contemplative and restorative. So contemplative is more your traditional seated, guided meditation. So we offer mindfulness, we offer mantra, we offer metta, which is loving kindness. For our restorative practices, we have some awesome offerings such as a sound bath. We also do yoga nidra, which is a fantastic guided visualization where you're lying down. And of course our power naps, which is kind of our hallmark offering. The power nap, by the way, is not a guided class. We've curated a space which is kind of optimal for the power nap experience. So everybody looking for a quick 25-minute snooze in the middle of the day, this is the ultimate place to do that and find that sense of relaxation.
I come here every day around lunchtime, pretty much around this time, and what I like the most about coming here is that I can breathe whereas my morning is very crazy, very hectic. I drink a lot of coffee sometimes, and so I'm like moving too much, too fast.
So I invite you to come back to your thoughts.
There are many methods, many tools, and then it's about noticing it and saying, you're going to have to discipline, concentrate. Discipline and concentrate.
Notice the felt sensation of your body, breath, and thought.
I spend way too much time sitting down, except now I've tried to spend more time on standing desks, and also I know it's stupid, but I've devised a system to lie down and be able to do whatever on my computer too.
There's a low-grade anxiety that many people, at least in the DC area, to be more specific, they're having. We live with a day of technology that we got all these tools and we're told, oh, these tools are going to add more time, and surprise, surprise, they magically didn't.
I think what we brought to DC is unique, and I think it's compelling. I think people are really interested. As this wave of lifestyle and wellness continues to expand and grow, we're finding that folks are flocking to coming to a place just to recharge, if you will. And that's kind of our namesake, and that's why we built this place.
Oh, she's the icon. She's, it's our biggest attraction. She's beloved by everybody in Chicago, as well as our visitors.
Millions of people come to Chicago every year in order to see Sue, the most complete and iconic T-Rex fossil in the world. Sue is known the world over also because we have 2 casts of Sue that travel around the world. So we take Sue to other museums as well as people coming here to take a look at Sue.
People that haven't seen her have a relationship to Sue through social media. She's a great ambassador for not only Field Museum, but for natural history museums in general.
Those casts of Sue have been traveling for about 15 years or so. In the aggregate, millions of people have come to know about Sue, and they didn't even come to Chicago.
A lot of visitors come to the field to see Sue and feel that she's maybe a little smaller than expected. The buildup is too big because this is such a huge space.
We know from a lot of visitor studies that people want to see Sue and Sue's natural environment, and you can't really do that in an environment like Stanley Field Hall. It really requires a different space, and that's what we're going to be providing for our visitors. So we're going to be using some multimedia in order to put people in the Cretaceous era when Sue lived. We're also going to be putting more specimens on display. Specimens that were found with Sue when Sue was discovered back in the 90s, and then also some other specimens like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus that would have been Sue's prey, for example. So we're able to really take the time in this space to flesh out the full story of where Sue lived, how she lived, and what her daily life may have been like. So we expect the demand for Sue to be just as great in the new hall.
We've learned a lot about the science, the biomechanics of T-Rexes from studying Sue. Her gait, her bite force, and all kinds of things. We'll be adding new research to the display in changing her pose slightly.
Sue will be coming down bone by bone and moving into a brand new exhibition hall we've built just for her.
The way that she is mounted on this metal armature allows us to remove every bone individually. And that'll be really interesting because we haven't de-installed significant portions of her since she was installed in the year 2000.
We are cataloging and cleaning every single bone that comes off display. It's going to take almost 28 days completely. Then the work really begins in the new hall where Sue will be.
We keep the skull separate from the rest of the body because it's the main thing that people want to research. So even when she's reinstalled, we'll keep the skull in a separate case for easy access. And there's the opportunity to feature this humongous titanosaur, which is actually in better scale to the space, we think. It's a sauropod, it's 120 feet long. Sue is 40 feet, so 3 times as long.
Sue has been an icon, not just for the Field Museum, but for Chicago since its debut back in the year 2000. So we know and we're very aware of that legacy that Sue has. And I think that visitors that come to the museum next year in March of 19, when we finally open the new exhibition, are going to see Sue in a whole new light.
Hi.
Oh, you really want to shake my hand? Okay, hi. Well, of course, this is the greatest cultural institution here in the city, if I might say. And it's a huge honor for me to be here and to make these flowers every week. And it's so noble for Mrs. Leila Etchison Wallace that she made this donation. So all the tourists that come visit the museum and also staff, when they walk into the museum on Tuesday morning, they receive a nice welcome. And that's great. Of course, this is a very elegant museum, so the flowers have to be very elegant as well.
So Leila Atchison Wallace was the co-founder of Reader's Digest. Mrs. Wallace was a longtime trustee of the Met and one of our greatest benefactors. She was an avid gardener. I understand that she had fresh flowers delivered to the Reader's Digest offices every day. In the Great Hall, there are 4 niches that contain these beautiful flower arrangements that are redone once a week. And we also have, in the center of the Great Hall, this beautiful centerpiece here. The visitors are astounded when they walk in the doors. They don't expect that they're going to see something living and fresh in the midst of this austerity.
Usually, in order to make an arrangement here in the museum, and you see the size of these arrangements, the flowers that I buy are very, very tall. So they have to be at least 120 centimeters in order for me to be able to use it here in the arrangement. So the majority of the pretty flowers, like sweet peas or Dutch tulips, it's all this tall, I can't use those. And the flowers have to last a week. The nice thing about these weekly flower arrangements is that I have the opportunity to every week show something completely different, and that's fun. It's fun for the guests that visit the museum, and it's also fun for myself every week to come up with something special, and have it become a surprise when people walk in.
The little girl in what appears to be a confirmation dress, white confirmation dress, is me. I remember that dress particularly because it was a beautiful organza dress, and it had these little pleats in the front of it. And you know, the little white gloves, I mean, my grandmother standing right next to me, it evokes such memories.
I'm a director of the Mayor's Mural Crew. What I wanted to capture is the generations that we have and how similar the stories of each generation is.